Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene and right-wing conspiracy theorist and court-adjudicated defamer Alex Jones are now in damage control mode. The duo appear to be terrified of being sued for millions of dollars by Dominion voting systems after claiming that Dominion voting machines in Georgia changed votes in this election from Donald Trump and MTG to Democrats. On a recent Jones podcast, Jones and Greene backtracked and insisted their previous commentary was innocent.
I didn't blame a voting machine company. I said what was happening. I said, I'm a representative of the people. My title literally is representative. So I am representing the people in my district. I said what my people were saying. I just was saying, here's what people are saying, and here's how you overcome it.
Except that MTG, in the appearance with Jones that has stirred up controversy, did not just report what her constituents were saying. She added her own faulty description, inaccurate sequence of events, and misleading narrative. Watch.
Each voter has to review that printed copy to make sure that it has selected the candidates that they want to vote for. And so when this voter printed their ballot and they looked, it had changed. It was not Donald Trump. It was not me. And it was not the other ones they had voted for. It had switched. And so they went up to one of the election workers and they said, here's the problem. The machine switched it and my printed ballot, I did not vote for these people. So they had to start over, and they went through it several times and it kept on making the same error, kept on switching the votes. And so this is something we're just starting to look into today, because I just found out about it this morning before I came on your show today. But we will be following up, and I'll be talking to election workers and officials here in the district and making sure that this happens, that these ballots are correct, because that's extremely concerning. It sounds similar to what we heard in 2020.
It sounds similar to what we heard in 2020. And what was peddled in 2020 was false claims that Dominion voting machines were rigged against Donald Trump. In this particular 2024 case, however, the Georgia election authorities quickly determined that the voter had been making a mistake in filling out their ballot. The problem had nothing to do with the Dominion machine. And yet Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't bother to wait to see if the problem could be explained. She immediately went on Alex Jones's show and began speculating and smearing Dominion voting systems. Greene's assertions became an issue on the CBS News public affairs show Face the Nation. Here is host Margaret Brennan with Georgia Republican Secretary of State, the man in charge of elections there, Brad Raffensperger.
Your party is not a monolith, and Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is claiming fraud is underway in Whitfield County. She said Dominion voting machines were flipping votes. The county board said there was just one case of a printed ballot not reflecting a voter's selection. And then one of your colleagues said this was just human user error. So as the state's top election official, have you seen any evidence of fraud?
No. And what happened in Whitfield County was the lady thought she had pressed a certain selection, and then when she printed out the ballot, she knew that. She saw that, and so then she made them aware of it, and it got corrected. And then it got blown out of proportion by people that like to use Twitter and other forms of social media. But we're going to respond quickly to these sorts of things in 2024. Because it's not supported by the facts. The equipment's working. We've done all sorts of audits, since the last election and coming up to this election.
Well, it wasn't just some people. It was the elected representative for that district, the Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who said that.
It sure was. And in response to Marjorie Taylor Greene's nonsense, Dominion Voting Systems fired a warning shot of sorts to Greene and others. The company issued a statement saying it is closely monitoring claims about the 2024 election and added, quote, "We strongly encourage people to rely upon verified, credible sources of election information, sources that can explain the many layers of physical, operational, and technical safeguards that exist to promote the integrity of our elections. We remain fully prepared to defend our company and our customers against lies and to seek accountability from those who spread them." Keep in mind that Dominion is the same company that sued Fox News after the 2020 election claims. Fox settled that lawsuit by paying Dominion $787 million. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones don't have even a fraction of that kind of money. And Jones is currently facing the liquidation of his company assets in order to start paying defamation penalties he owes to families of the Sandy Hook, Connecticut school massacre. Legal experts say that Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene certainly appear to have skated very close to a defamation danger zone in the comments about Dominion because they claimed certain things as facts that were not facts. And if Greene and Jones knew or were not sure what the facts really were and promoted the claims anyway, they could face some trouble. Again, state and local officials in Georgia have confirmed the reported issue in Whitfield County was due to voter error. The officials say there has been no issues reported with the Whitfield County voting machines. Indeed, the only issue is with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Alex Jones, who seem eager to keep peddling conspiracy theories. Only this time, they've been busted by a company that is not afraid to hold liars accountable. By the way, in Florida, a MAGA teenager has been arrested after waving a weapon and threatening Democratic voters.
To say your piece is your First Amendment protected right, but that goes out the window the moment you raise a machete over your head in a threatening manner.
Yes, a machete. Neptune Beach, Florida police say they arrested 18-year-old Caleb Williams waving that 18-inch blade. Police allege he was threatening Democratic voters walking into an early voting site.
Mr. Williams decided to brandish that machete over his head at two female victims, ages 71 and 54 years of age, which were in fear at that point, had called the police, and we arrived less than 1 minute later.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.